Today I just released my 8.2 version of the telemetry tool. I've gotten a few questions regarding the settings, so now I'm going to explain you in detail what the settings are, what they mean, and how to get them done. So first you have to run application running, and then in under the tools general settings, when you select that, it opens the settings dialog. And here you can have, yes, I guess you can say there's three different kind of sections. They are not exactly what they are saying, but they are close to that area. So let's start with the general. So here the first thing you see is the control button to change the tab. And here actually you see there's always the tool tab, which tells you exactly what the thing does if you remember that while you're using the app. So here you can decide which controller button or the button in your steering wheel or whatever changes the tabs. So here you can, there's a list of different tabs, different buttons. And if you don't know which button is it that you want to assign for this, you can start the app and go to the raw data, and here whenever you're pressing the right button, the name will appear here, and then you can say, okay, this is the cross, whatever, or whatever you think you want to use, so you will see the name on that side. So that's, and then when you have selected that, what it does is actually toggles the different tabs, so goes from map telemetry to map, and so on. And this is nice, but of course when you're driving a race, it might be that you don't want to see all these different tabs, like some of the people say they only are using the map. So it might be that you don't want to see them all. So I've added here an option to select which tabs will be in the rotation. And for me, I quite often I use the telemetry, then I have the map info, timing, and driving. But it might be that you only want to have the info, because there's the time, the fuel left, and how long you can drive with your wheels, tires, and then also you might want to have the map, so you can see, for example, when you get to the pit stop, that where you will land on the pit stop. So here you can just decide which tabs will be included in rotation. The telemetry will always be included in the rotation. That's a default thing which is there. I might actually remove that in the future, but not now. And the next setting is a driver TLA. So this is more of a personalizing the telemetry tool. So that when you're driving your TLA, so it's a three-letter acronym, will be whatever you like, and this is just makes the tool nicer for you and easier for you to find who's your driver. The next is few settings regarding saving, and first thing is that do we want to save the invalid lap? Sometimes you drive over the lines and then the lap turns into invalid, and it might that you don't want to save them. Me personally, I'm saving the laps, just it might be nice data at some point in the future to understand what happened there on that lap. The next one is track and save the race data. So if you have a very slow machine, you might turn this off, and then no opponent data is collected, and that saves quite a lot of data, or saves the space and memory in the tool. And the next one is save lap times to separate file. What this does is that when you've done a race or a telemetry session, at the end of the session, the tool will save a file which contains all the lap times, and then later you can, for example, if some people are using that is for racing, that they are looking at their old lap times in old races to understand how much time they spend in when doing a pit stop and things like that. And then there's an option also to save very detailed race history file. Very few people would be using this, but this is, I left it there just for some people to look at if they are really into that. And then next is which opponent's laps we want to save. So that's something which is new with the Formula 1 2018, is that the game actually provides the opponent telemetry data as well. And now with my tool, you can save this data into telemetry format, and here you can sort of decide which laps you want to save. It might be that you want to save all laps from time trial and the race and everything, and then you can later look at those data. Also, you can also decide that only save the data or telemetry from the coast, so the guys do it faster than you, so you can save the coast telemetry, or you can save only the fastest in the race, or none. I actually use the all, because then I'm just deleting the files that I don't need, but then I still have the data if I need that. So let's go on the networking side. So here you can set the port which the application will listen to. So if you're changing this, you have to change it in the game, or if you change the listening or the output port in the game, then you have to change it here, and then you have to restart the tool. That's the way it works. Also, you can enable the HTTP feed. In my tool, there is an HTTP server, so if you want to connect and look at the data with your own cell phone or your tablet, then you can do that. You have to just enable the HTTP feed. There is some data on the README files on how you can use that. And then here we can set the tool to save memory. So when you drive long races, it might be when you have 70 laps stored, it takes a lot of memory. So here you can, if you click this, then the system will automatically try to delete the laps immediately when they are not anymore needed. And here is another one, which is the optimizing graph loading. So if you're using the telemetry like this, and you very seldom make sort of changes in here, you can just keep it optimized. So then the system will load the other graphs that you are not using. If you are changing them all the time, then take it off, because that's the best way. Then all the graphs are available all the time without the needing for extra loading. And here next on the CPU usage, you can, of course, when you do use this application, there's a lot of data and lots of calculations that needs to be done. And it might, in a slower machine, it might take too much toll on the system. Like in my old laptop, I was always running it here because it was a very old laptop, not much power, and that way it still runs, and you don't see. Of course, if you have a fast machine, then you can put it on the heavy one. But good thing is that even if you put it to fast setting, the system will automatically detect that oops, there's not enough power, and it will just adjust it to the right spot wherever that right spot is. And then the next one is the accuracy of the delta to others. And this is, if you put it on the very accurate, it takes quite a lot of memory, and of course on the opposite side it takes much less memory when you're using the accuracy. What I'm doing here in my tool is that I'm keeping a track of all the cars' positions and times over the race, so that I can have a very accurate delta. And here it basically means that after every package, recording the delta, and here it's about every 200 meters there's a sort of marker, so that when we get the delta, that's about for every 200 meter sectors of the game. And then in the UEY section, here you can decide what do we show when we start the tool. And you might most likely, like I quite often, I don't have the menu or sidebar visible. Here in this case I have them, but normally I don't have them visible, so you can just set the settings here that don't show the menu, don't show the sidebar, because I don't need them when I'm driving around. They are usually to use them when you are doing more analysis when you're offline. And then here's the option to have the lighter color scheme. Like you can see, some people want to see their telemetry more like in a paper or printout, and the lighter color scheme is nice. Of course, for me, when I'm driving, I like to use the darker one for the racing, and then when I'm doing the analysis, I'm using the lighter one, because I like the more sort of kind of paper type graphs for me. Then here we can set the default lines for red line, default laps for red line and blue line. So red line, the options are live data, loaded data, a previous lap or no lap. Sometimes, quite often, I would expect that people use the live data. Sometimes I use the previous lap in the race, so I just see a little bit how I'm doing compared how my previous lap was, if you have time for that. Normally you don't have much time for that. And then for the blue line, it's the same. There are different options. For me, if I'm doing a time trial, then I have the fastest lap. Particularly in the race, qualifying and practice, it's the session fastest. And there's the option to have the reference lap and fastest opponent, but I don't think many people will be using them. And then you can set the feed. Now there's only one option. Actually, my tool works also with Project Cars 2. It's not available here because I'm not yet fully confident that I want to release it. If you are really interested in testing it, just let me know, and I might give you access on how to get it going. And then here, for normal people, you don't want to have any error logging. In my case, of course, I, as a developer, want to know if there's some logs, but this is also nice if some people are getting into some problems. I can ask them to turn this on, and then I get more data from them. And here is something which I have always on, is save all settings on change. So if you're making some changes, let's say that you always on your racing map, you always want to see, you don't want to see map, but you want to have sectors. It might be that you only want to have the optimal line always visible, and then you make these changes, and then they automatically say the next time when you start the game or they start the application, telemetry application, the settings will be like that. So it is quite nice and makes it life a little bit easier. And then you can of course when in the end you can save and close, save the settings and close the dialog, or just close the dialog without saving the data. And that's the way you sort of set the settings. And if you have any questions or comments, let me know. Okay, thanks. Bye.